Let's pop into it, shall we? So we've got a bit of a brew here today based around this 4-mana enchantment, Sarkhan's Unsealing. So whenever you cast a creature spell with power 4, 5, or 6, Sarkhan's Unsealing deals 4 damage to any target. Whenever you cast a creature spell with 7 power or greater, Sarkhan's Unsealing deals 4 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. So we're looking to leverage this card here with Rotting Regisaur as well as Nyxathid, which gets -1/-1 for each card in your opponent's hand. The important thing to note about this is that Nyxathid doesn't get smaller until it's in play, right? So when you cast Nyxathid, it triggers Sarkhan's Unsealing. So these are both 3-mana cards that trigger Unsealing. We've also got Kroxa, Bonecrusher, Bloodrage Brawler, and Hazoret as other ways to trigger the top line of text here. The one thing that comes up in my mind that I'm interested to see and think about as we play with this deck is how often is this card just worse than playing Embercleave? Because we are running some low quality cards that like really aren't super constructed playable on their own to make this work. So that's the thing I'm going to want to be thinking about. How often is this card the same, better, or worse than what Embercleave would be in a similar shell? So we got Thoughtseize, Angrath, Rampage, Erebos, Intervention, just okay interaction. We got Sweltering Suns, which is kind of cheeky. It's a sweeper card for goblins that you can cycle if you don't need it to be a sweeper against something else. So let's go ahead and pop on into some games here with this and see how it goes. Pretty easy mulligan to start. Bottom the Brawler against an unknown. Flare removal spells end up being good. Beat on Fabled Passage for Mountain here with the Dragonskull Summit draw. Card sleeve is sweet. Morning F Dragon. The Ramp Demic. I mean, to be fair, Nissa's rotating at least. So we got that going for us. Second Island. Almost hoping they're mono blue. Feel like trip removal is probably pretty good against mono blue. Huh? Hey, let's go. I mean, I've played Lotus Cobra in the past. I mean, to set a low bar, people talking about things like Lotus Cobra. Lotus Cobra is very interactable as far as the average bits of acceleration go. So, like, all things considered, Lotus Cobra tends to be pretty reasonable because you have a chance to kill it before it does too much. You have to pay 2 mana with it for it, and then it's only a 2/1. My body's ready to get Brazen Borrowed into Oblivion. Yeah, the card's also a lot less powerful without fetch lands, is very true. Let's put our namesake into play. This lets us. This means our things deal damage even if they don't resolve, because it's a cast trigger, which is nice. So I think I just cast this for 3. Because there's a chance they have a counter spell here. So if I stomp and they counter it, I get nothing. Whereas if I cast it like this and they counter it, I still deal 4. Although I guess they had Essence Scatters. Maybe that's not great. I'm going to be honest. They announced so much crap this morning. I don't know. I don't understand what's going on fully. I need to sit down and sort through it all. I wasn't following the preview stream as it was happening. Apparently they announced like 600 products this morning. Hopefully there's a written article that makes it digestible. $700 products, yeah. I was just, like, excited for Zendikar, and now, like, I don't even know, like, am I supposed to be excited for that, or am I supposed to be excited for the other things? It's a lot all at once. Like, it feels weird to give timelines at the same time you're getting ready for a new product. Yeah, definitely Bill Smash. Cool Stuff Inc. right there, coming up on the scroller. They do all sorts of different card games as well as board games and stuff too. They're great. And my discount code there, Jeff5, works for any type of TCG stuff there. Yeah, what's the deal with the Innistrad thing? Are they like 2 different sets that you get different cards from at the same time, or like how does that, like I saw it said Innistrad werewolves and Innistrad vampires. What does that mean? It's apparently 2 full sets released at the same time with a different focus on each. Okay, so they go to 8 here, but they're taking 4. I wonder if we're going to see them tuck the Unsealing here.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
I think I let it tuck before I draw, because I don't mind getting back to that quickly. So if I play a land and then draw, I could cast the Unsealing here. Get censored or whatever. Sick. Dodged it. Do you think they're committed to getting rid of this Unsealing, chat? Feels like they're probably committed to getting rid of this Unsealing.
Need to move quickly.
That's a good one. Ooh. Okay, so they could be dead here, right? If this is a land and this bricks. What's the best draw on our deck? I think this is the best draw on our deck. I caught bits and pieces of something about non-standard cards in Zendikar booster packs. Is that a thing that's going to exist on Arena? Or are they like special $400 booster packs where that's happening? Does anybody know what the deal is with that? Okay, is it just box toppers? The list, I don't know. I don't know. There's too much stuff, chat. There's too much stuff. And then fetches are different, right? Fetches are coming in Modern Horizons. Is that's what's happening?
Taking time out.
Think I draw this and then play Kroxa. It's close though. It could be right to just play Unsealing and then like hope to Kroxa next turn.
Hold that thought.
There's the new product, set packs with 12 cards. 2 of the cards are like chests for Moto and have a list of cards shown. They showed Food Chain, Simian Spirit Guide, and some bulk uncommons. Wild.
I have practiced against men foes. Hone your prowess.
Cut the Sweltering Suns here. Cut the Erebos intervention. Change the target of a spell with a single target. This could technically be used to counter their counters, right? You can make their counters target themselves. Alright, let's do it. Or target Bolt Bend, sure. One of the reasons I stopped playing Magic was release fatigue. Too many products with too many clever gimmicks. It all became a confusing mess. Remember when there were 3 sets per year and those sets has boosters in them? Yeah, I agree, Bob. I definitely think product fatigue is a big thing. Super real. Definitely feel you on that. And also like I feel like when you I like them to call out the good things. I like that they're telling us what the next year's worth of sets are. Like, that's good. But I feel like they should have, like, told us a month ago or waited another month is what I would have preferred. Like, wait until 2 weeks after Zendikar releases so we can, like, focus on Zendikar for a bit, or tell us a month before it happens so that way, like, we could be excited about it and then be like, okay, here's cards. Yeah, I feel like I didn't get a chance to breathe and be like, oh, Zendikar looks neat. Bloodrage Brawler here, really showing us why it's probably not a constructed playable card as we get 2 for 1 by it. Yeah, and like not only that, but like Like, I don't, like, what is in Zendikar and what's not. Like, I saw pictures of fetch lands get spoiled and all of that, so, like, now I have to, like, take a second to, like, figure out what's in what products. I don't know. I'll get through it. We'll figure it out. It's fine. It'll be fine. It's really not that big of a deal. They're reprinting dual lands, like the original dual lands. Like Underground Sea and stuff. Yeah, the new land design seems good. Oh, we were at the bottom of the ladder. I should have thought about that. I should have just conceded that match. Blue Eye Control's so miserable to play against. The Banana King, chat. Well, the downside is, Brutesy, is they're technically not dual lands, right? Like, they don't make both colors. So their drawback is they're bad at casting cards that have multiple color requirements is their downside. Time Spiral's coming back. Can someone please explain to me? Time Spiral's not going to be a standard legal thing, is it? Because that wasn't on the... No, it's not. It's only in paper and it's not going to be standard legal. Okay. Because we have what? Kaldamine, Strixhaven, Forgotten Realms, and then Innistrad are our standard sets. Okay. This is really good piece of feedback on Twitter that I think Wizards would be good to listen to. Someone said Magic needs their own annual, like, BlizzCon type thing where they announce all their products for the next year. And I think I really agree with that. That's what should happen, in my opinion. That sounds like a great suggestion. Here's this event that you can put on your calendar, and when this event comes up on your calendar, you're going to know what the next year's schedule is. You're going to find out what everything that's coming up is on that day. That sounds like a perfect piece of feedback. Sure, yeah, wasn't HasbroCon or something like that a thing for half a second in the before times? Hello, oldest son. How's school?
Don't prepare me, people, because no, prepare me is the pole.
The basement's the North Pole. That's silly. I'm gonna concede this match. This is just fucking miserable, man. Just miserable.
Why you do bad? Why you do?
Because the game made me sad, so when I was sad, I decided to stop playing.
Wait, I believe in everything. You're not sad, right? You're not cry, okay? That's all about, right, Daddy? What's that about? Oh, wait. Oh, sorry, Daddy. Sorry.
How's Black Red Unsealing going? Well, we're 2 for 2. It's not your fault, bud. You're great. Jacob is great. Jacob makes me happy. Because Jacob's awesome. Hallowed Fountains and Uro make me sad.
Really? They're crazy chickens.
They are crazy. I agree.
Chicken crazy, babe. They are chicken crazy, right?
Alright, technically a Hallowed Fountain deck, but not a Teferi deck. So I guess we take the small victories. I guess we take the small victories.
Of course, Daddy.
Okay. I've decided that I'm going to stay away from giving my opinions on Magic's format and their balance moving forward on stream and social media. It doesn't feel like the feedback that I give is valued by Wizards of the Coast anyways, and when I give that feedback, I have to listen to crappy feedback from people that don't really understand game design or balance. So, rather than get into it, we'll just concede when it's not fun. We're super dead, right? They just, like, tap our things and then kill us. This deck's going about as expected. Yeah, I'm giving feedback that doesn't feel like it's ever listened to, and on top of that, when I give the feedback, I have to, like, block lots of random idiots because they throw stupid remarks back at me. Have I played D&D? I played a ton of D&D during undergrad. I've not played in a very long time. Last time I played D&D, there was a heated discussion between whether or not we should be using 3.5 or 4.0 rules. It was really awesome, Yars. It's a deck I'm going to work on some more and potentially tune it for the Runeterra tournament next month or next couple weeks. There's a whole bunch of 3.5 books in my garage somewhere that I will probably break out to play with my children in a number of years. I was going to cut the Thoughtseize and bring in more cards that play to the board. Five E's easy to get into. But if you make your role-playing system easy to get into, how am I possibly supposed to gatekeep people and make them feel inferior? What a casual pleb wanting their game system to be easy to get into. You're not a real nerd if you don't struggle to comprehend what's going on. Rabble, rabble, rabble. Don't worry, Jeff. People are good at gatekeeping and it finds a way. It's funny because it's sad. Biden-Harris campaign launches official Animal Crossing New Horizons yard signs. Gosh, they're so hip, chat. Niv, thank you for the 28 months. I appreciate the tier 3. Welcome back. How do we get Baba back in the variety game queue? Variety games are a $50 submission, or if you wanted to pair it with your tier 3 sub there, an extra 20 kicker would get it back queued up. Planning to do approximately 2 variety games per week on Saturday, Sunday, with the asterisk that on the weekends that I'm running opens, I obviously won't be doing variety games, so there'll be some amount of delay there. Could be right to Swelter. I kind of just want to put my other threat into play here, though. God, these cards have just been so awkward. OTR Heathen, thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Keep me around. Are they just like trying to draw up to enough cards to kill my Nyxathid? Is that what we have going on here? Nah, Rad, it's fine. Sure, they flash in Spectral Sailor and kill me. Alright. I'm gonna give this one more chance, but we might have a quick magic segment today. This deck's been a flaming dumpster fire so far. Just awful against the control decks, and that wasn't particularly interactive there either. Our deck's a pretty... I almost rejected this one, but it had the person attached like a write-up of it, and someone said they were doing well, but... You are very silly, child. You got a cone on your head? Nah, I'm planning to do a short day overall. Tuesday's usually a low viewer count day, and Christy and I want to get the garage cleaned out before the weather gets cold again. I mean, like, a broken clock's right twice per day. Just like good players could do poorly with good decks, good players could do well with bad decks on occasion. Hit a good run hot, get okay matchups, etc. I mean, like, if you draw your Sarkhan's Unsealings and you queue into all creature decks, those are probably okay matchups. Like, those probably work out all right for you. I would imagine. They discarded a Muxus to Kroxa, so I'm kind of expecting them to have a second Muxus next turn. Also, I mentioned this on Twitter, but for people that don't follow me there, it's good to mention it here as well, I think. Who's excited to get your second land Thoughtseize with these new land split cards? I'm super excited for land split cards in general, but the implications of keeping a 2-lander because one of your lands is technically a spell, and then they, like, Thoughtseize your land on one is, like, gonna be pretty peak magic. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're non-lands first. Maybe they're gonna come out with the rules and that won't be possible, but if that's not possible, then that means they're lands that they're spells that can't be discarded, which is also kind of like a different can of worms. Land split cards work with Uro. I have no idea. Oh, they're missing a land. Okay, let's see, like this. We might actually get them here. So yeah, I get to go Thoughtseize you and then Sweltering your Suns. Attack you for 12. Would the slow fetch lands be acceptable to Historic? You mean like Prairie Stream? Because those cards are coming to Historic. Again, remember that all cards that are currently Pioneer legal will also be Historic legal. The double face cards that are lands on both sides should work with Uro. The double face cards are spells in the front, don't work with Uro. Theoretically, it's not uncommon for them to adjust the magic rules to make them work more elegantly with new designs that they have. So that could be changed. I don't think you should assume that that's going to be the way it is. You should wait till we get the release notes. Monster, thanks for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, unless you have an official rule source on that, I wouldn't make that assumption. Wait. Oh, that's weird. So something talking about the dual lands. If you look at these, so normally they do allied or enemy. This is a mix of allied and enemy. I don't know why they didn't just print all 10. Like, that would be my question. Why didn't we just get all 10? I really dislike incomplete land cycles. I think it's a big issue. I think it's a problem. It's a problem with things in, yeah, like I really in general just dislike the half cycles. Or in this case, 3/4 cycles or 2/3 cycles. 60% cycles. 6/10. Alright, gotta cut 2 more cards here. I'm gonna cut Bloodrage Brawler because it's been real poopy. Sure. It's got Nyxathid Unsealing. Let's do it, chat. Niv! Thanks for the tip. I appreciate it. I will get Baba added back into the queue. I see that's what that's for. Roses are red, violets are blue, Hoagland is when Baba is you. I think that was the most adorable level in that game. What does allied mean? There's 5 2-color combinations that are considered allied colors, and there's 5 2-color combinations that are considered enemy colors, and they have to do with the way the back of a magic card is. So your allied colors are your ones that are directly next to each other. So blue's allied colors are white and black, and blue's enemy colors are green and red, because they're not right next to them, is what that refers to. My lovely birds of paradise explaining it to everybody. Getting punished for Thoughtseizing on 2. I just didn't want to shock and Thoughtseize in the aggro matchup. Get a paper magic card in hand. I got a small stack of, I have a small stack of, like, paper trading cards. There's, like, got Pokemon cards in here, Warhammer, Digimon, some tokens. It's a good mix of stuff. Goodbye, friends. And the magic cards I have in here are 4 copies of Birds of Paradise, 1 Court of Calling, 1 Restoration Angel, 1 Kiki Jiki, and then Legacy Staple Nantuko Monastery. This card paid for my wedding, chat. It's a good one. It's not actually a good one, but it did pay for my wedding. I top 8'd like 3 Legacy tournaments in a row on the Open Series in 2014, right before I got married. No haste, no haste, no haste. We're taking 7, 8, 9, 10, so we're technically not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. What are the odds Day 9 actually has mobile on MTGA? That was probably done in post. Must have been a ton of money. Nah, Christy and I are just cheap. I think our wedding came in under 5 figures. Sorry, we're not cheap, we're frugal. Frugal is the word I'm looking for. Pretty sure I hit them here, so that way any 4+ power creature kills them. We hope that they don't floop enough to hit us here. And we're dead. Historic's fun. I'm really glad they banned Winota. You had 15k with 100 guys. I think you had almost 200 people. If I recall, I don't remember. I don't remember at this point. It's been a while. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. Let's run it back. Who knocks? Let's get your sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. Don't be mean to the new mods. How many were Trump supporters that I don't talk to anymore? A significant number. I think we bottom Bonecrusher here. We have Grafdigger's Cage to cover Muxus. We got Sweltering Suns to blunt the initial rush. Contract. Thanks for the 3/4 view. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Regret from having kept the Nyxathid, huh? My wife's dad likes eating fancy and paid 5k so he could have better filet at our wedding. God bless. More power to him, right? If someone else wants to foot the pill, let's just like, God bless, as you will. Blum blum. Thanks for the 2 months of Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I'm playing your deck. It's been a little rough so far. We might be getting on the scoreboard here against goblins though. Feels like we got this one. No blocks. Concession Sun? I think this is a Concession Sun, chat. Goodbye, friends. I mean, to be fair, the way this deck gets constructed seems very good against these creature-based decks. Having a bunch of... It's difficult to Muxus us when they don't have 6 lands and we have a Grafdigger's Cage in play. Alright, we're on the scoreboard, shit. We died a bunch to Teferi Hero of Dominaria, but we found a W in Goblins. More tiny creature decks that care about my unsealings, please. More decks that right-click concede to Sweltering Suns, please. Alright, in it to win it. Fetch second red on 1. Fetch basic swamp on 1. think I want to hold this for after Unsealing. You thought there was a point in which we stopped playing decks that weren't piles of jank bombs? Is there could you point out that day? Cause I don't remember the day where we stopped and played a bunch of good decks. We did stop playing Magic Online. That's definitely true, but that's different. You stopped taking a lot of submissions. I have. Yeah, I almost didn't take this one. It's been kind of middling so far. I disagree with the assessment that watching me die to... I disagree with the assessment that watching me die to blue-white control with a deck that doesn't stand a chance of winning against it is interesting. I think that is the opposite of true. So, I don't believe they can get God Pharaoh's Gift here yet. That was the one we wanted, right? This is the one we wanted. Alright, we did the thing, chat. We did the thing. Oh, no! This thing got bigger. That's fine. We'll kill it with Kroxa's Trigger, right? That's a big in. Hazoret can block. We do have that going. We're actually really close to just killing them, right? Now they have another Fiend Artisan, we're dead, right? They are dead? Could Twitch chat please explain to me how 4 plus 4 plus 5 is 15? Before I hand out timeouts, someone explain to me how 4 plus 4 plus 5 is 15. This is not in my hand. There's smoke here. I can't pay 2 and pay 3 and discard this. Alright. Excellent. Just checking. We are in fact the ones who are dead because they have another thing they can get back next turn. So Cage is notably not useful against God Pharaoh's Gift because it exiles the creature and then creates a token. Ashiok is lovely. Bedevil here is fine. Angrath Rampage is fine. Erebos Intervention is fine. I don't think this is a matchup where you're supposed to board in things like Duress. While they have high impact things that you really want to take with Duress, the raw number of things they have that you could take with Duress is incredibly low. So this card is frequently going to miss. Sure, Obnix's Cruelty exiles things, but a lot of their stuff is bigger than this or has like an enters play effect. Did you escape Kroxa there? Not with 3 lands, no? I could have escaped Kroxa instead of playing the Hazoret, I believe, but that's still only 4 + 4 + 3, which is 11, and still not lethal, and then I die next turn. I think I'm supposed to tram Bloodrage Brawler here, probably. This is really bad against their 2-1s with Death Touch. Yeah, maybe we just bring in Necromentia, huh? Their deck's probably pretty mediocre if we get rid of their God Pharaoh's Gifts. Let's do that. I think we got enough cards that don't sound great. That's a good idea. Thanks, Armate. It's just so annoying. I just hate, like, I had someone in my mentions that was just like, can you try being positive about the new things? And, like, just, like, bugger off, dude. Like, I've tweeted, like, 6 or 7 things about the Zendikar stuff this morning, and over half of them were positive. So, like, sorry that I was honest and, like, said that not everything was perfect. Well, for those of you that are currently watching on stream in the or on YouTube in the future, my Twitch just disconnected again like it did yesterday. So yeah. Alright, I think we're live again. Nope, still no.
Beg for your life. It makes your nightmare. This is my masterpiece. You must be quelled.
Are we back? Can you see me? Anyone? Bueller? Are we live again? Alright, are we back now? Alright, we're back. Sorry, I'm tagging them on Twitter and messaging I'm gonna message my support rep. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what happened. So nothing on my internet. It's almost the same thing that happened yesterday. My internet everything on my internet stayed completely connected. OBS didn't think it was disconnected. And he also went down. Yeah, maybe it's an issue on Twitch's end. %90 of streams were down too. Okay. Okay, so it's not a me issue then. Got it. It's just weird that it happened 2 days in a row. I don't think it happened to a bunch of other people yesterday. The weird part about it is that OBS doesn't think I disconnected. That's the strange part. Like, normally, when a Twitch disconnect happens, like, my connection to Twitch is disrupted, right? But, like, OBS maintained a connection to the Twitch server, but Twitch wasn't sending it out to you all. I think I'm happy with how I boarded. I'm gonna run it back. Yeah, there was a Cloudflare issue the other day. I think I'm actually going to Dragonskull Summit here on 1, because I don't want to commit to what I'm getting with this Fabled Passage until I draw a couple more cards. $300,000 people watch the casters just flounder for almost 3 hours. We missed the rant about positivity. It's just amazing to me how many people will respond to my tweets upset with the content that my tweets contain, as opposed to just being adults and unfollowing me on Twitter. I'm always a humanitarian, and I make sure to block them, because obviously people that don't know how to find the unfollow button, they need someone to help them out. So I'm a humanitarian, I always block people that complain about the things I'm posting, since they clearly don't know how to mute me or block me or unfollow me. I just like comments like that really make me understand how far up Wizards of the Coast posterior so many Magic players have it. Because like I genuinely went back to check my Twitter feed and was like, man, did I really post constant negative stuff today? I did a double take and I went back and looked at it and counted. I was like, no, I'm literally 3 positive tweets, 1 that has a positive and a negative, and 3 things that were critical. So it's we're firmly at the 50% mark here, which I thought was super reasonable. I thought there were things that were genuinely good, and I thought I highlighted them well. They've got a Hungry Chupacabra. I don't really want to play this. I want to save these for post-unsealing. They're also just going to get eaten by a Chupacabra. I think I'm just passing. Maybe maybe I'm supposed to cycle the Sweltering Suns there to try and draw land. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I'm going to do that here at end of turn and cycle the Sweltering Suns. I'll be sad if I draw Blood Crypt or a tapped land, but yeah, this is fine. So their deck doesn't have a ton of reach in it. I think I just Unsealing here and then go to 4 off of attacks, and then get to, start Regisauring them. We're up to 4 creatures in the bin for Gate to the Afterlife here. I guess going to 4 is a bit of a liability in this matchup because of them making 4/4s. Yeah, I guess there's a chance we die here, huh? Yeah, if they have a creature in hand, we die. Wow, do they really not have a creature? They're on all lands? That's so good for us. Please escape this Woe Strider. Please escape this Woe Strider. Is it intervening clause? Sacrifice this. Search library for Godfield gift. Search library active ability only. So this judge, this does not check on resolution, right? So I need to exile proactively here. This does not check on resolution. It's only when you activate. Okay. And this is lethal, right? Because it triggers this and then we stomp them. Alright, little bit lucky, but limped across the finish line. Never seen Erebos Intervention played in Constructed. That means you didn't watch the mono black deck we played last week, earlier this week. We played that card a few times, it's fine. If they're a creature deck, this is fine. If they're a control deck, we'll just concede. They took my Rampage instead of my Thoughtseize. Interesting. Okay, so Sultai Ramp, Unemployed Sofa. Thanks for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. He is an angry bull, chat. Lead on Thoughtseize here, because I don't want to run Regisaur into an intervention here. Dear opponent, don't Ritual of Soot me. Oh, right. No, they're not priced into blocking because they just get to attack me. They go to 1 and then they attack me with this next turn. And they make a blocker. And then I can't attack them anymore. Until I take 6 and they end up with a blocker. So they'd be at 1, but they'd have a window to start attacking me, which would not be good for me. So like I can attack here with everything. They eat this. They die. So like this attack forces them to trade. Right? Because I attack with these. They go block here. They take 11. They're at 11. Oh, they put the land into play. Oh, they have eliminate. So, like, what's been happening so far today, I think is a really good example of kind of like why it's important to think about the games in which you're playing and what's happening in them. So, for example, this deck has felt good in some of the games that we've played, but in the games that we've played where it's felt playable, aside from goblins, they've mostly been against other decks that aren't particularly tiered or good, right? This is our first time against Sultai Ramp. Did not feel like we had much of a chance. Against the blue-white control decks, did not feel like we had much of a chance. So, like, it's important to, and I tweeted something about this yesterday. It's important to think about, like, the details of, like, what's happening in the things that you're playing, right? So, like, when I'm hitting matchups against decks that are tiered, it feels bad. Could we appeal Bonecrusher there? Sure, they made a bad play and we could appeal Bonecrusher there. I didn't take the draw step to play around them being bad. Had my opponent played better, we wouldn't have had an out. What again is like, that's the detail, right? Like, if my opponent plays better there, like, 1, I have a very small % chance at an out only because my opponent messed up. So again, when I'm trying to assess whether or not my deck is good, assessing the play patterns of both players while we're playing is an important part of that. So my opponent should have gained 3 life there to not leave themselves dead to a Bonecrusher Giant, as opposed to making another 3/3 that they didn't really need. They could have left their existing 3/3 back as a chump blocker and gained life to get out of Bonecrusher range. But because they didn't do that, we technically had an out. But like, if both players are playing well there, I don't have outs. Never didn't have it, right? So, we're going to play Fabled Passage here, as opposed to the Dragonskull Summit, because Fabled Passage puts an extra card in the bin for Uro. Your wife opens bananas from the opposite end. I feel like there's some kind of inappropriate joke you can make with that, but I'm gonna let it go. At some point, if the queue gets empty, Bill Smash, that might be something I put in there. So we'll escape Kroxa pre-combat to make the Nyxathid bigger. Nyxathid. Ether Ghost. And then they escape Uro here and I can never win, right? This isn't a series of draws that get me out of this. At least this card will rotate out of standard soon and we'll have an Uro free format to play in, right? Wait, what? It's gonna be standard legal for... Oh no. Oh no. Nah, Jin. I'm gonna be optimistic. If standard, maybe standard will be fine with Uro once Nissa and stuff leaves. And if standard's not fine after rotation happens, we'll just like play more Runeterra. It'll be fine. That's not true, Zintoth. That Nissa only makes things creatures until end of turn, right? We're back. What happened? All of Twitch died. Most of Twitch died. A majority of Twitch died. Pretty confident that's what happened yesterday, too, because nothing else in my connection failed. One, I'm glad they printed an anti-ramp card in this blue card. Here's the problem with the anti-ramp card, chat. The problem, let me pull up the spoiler for people that haven't seen it. Spoilers, not spoiler. All right, so the problem with the anti-ramp card... Damn it, Scryfall, are you not updated? All right, the problem with the anti-ramp ball is it's not symmetrical, right? That's the issue. So, it's not symmetrical, so the best Uro deck, the best anti-Uro deck is, it's not symmetrical, and It's the same flipping color as Uro. So you don't not play Uro, you just play Uro with the card that counters your opponent's Uros. Like, yeah, this card should be white or red or black. It should not be the same color that Uro is. Or and here's just maybe instead of making it not blue, maybe we should make it symmetrical. Maybe we should stop printing obnoxious hate cards that are one-sided. Maybe that's the real solution we're looking for here. Maybe more of the 3-mana Tefreeze and the Nar set should, like, make both people sad. There are some good ones in there, Zach. The new Linvala looks sweet. I like the targeted discard dork that lets your opponent pick the range of what they're discarding. I'm glad we're getting dual lands that are good for aggressive decks, even if we're not getting all 10 of them to start. I think we're cutting the Sarkhan's Unsealing here. Pretty sure we just want to pull our curve down. Duress sounds good in this matchup. Probably trim Hazoret for a similar reason. I'm glad to hear that at least. At least the remaining in that cycle are coming very soon. I dislike, for example, that like a format as big as Pioneer that has 8 years worth of cards has incomplete cycles in it. Like, I get that maybe they don't want to do them all right away, but like the fact that we haven't like completed cycles in like a decade's time span for some of these things is like kind of awkward. Pretty sure we just take the Obsession. 10 duels in a single set is impossible to put with these number of rares. Why is that? Can you explain the mathematics of it to me? What about it makes it impossible? The client crashed when I tried to activate Krenko with 500 goblins in play. God bless. Blitz, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. So this is pro red, so this just doesn't do anything at the moment. And so it's funny, this talk about dual lands and rares and limited kind of goes back to that what we talked about yesterday, where like they're not just designing a game, right? Like to a degree, Wizards is balancing loot boxes, right? Because like the reason why those dual lands have to be rares is because they're balancing loot boxes. Like those dual lands can't just be uncommons out of lots of uncommons, because then you sell less booster packs. You need those rare duels to drive product sales. Which is tough. So like your game design standpoint gets roughed up a bit by the we need to push booster pack standpoint, which is tough. Does capitalism ruin everything? Only the things it touches. So I think we Kroxa here, and then next turn we can go Castle, Thoughtseize, Erebos' intervention, give something -1/-1. To be fair, rare dual land started in alpha, sure. But Richard Garfield genuinely didn't understand what he was creating then, Jin. Hey, thanks for the 2/3 of a year, Walker. Welcome back. Garfield created rarity for game design purposes. It's not retained that strict sense today. Alright, it's a good draw, so we get to go ahead and Thoughtseize here to hopefully clear the way for Bonecrusher to kill Pteramander. Rotting Regisaur going to rotting in our hand for a little bit here with these Brazen Borrowers for sure. Yeah, the original design of Magic the Gathering, Richard Garfield literally did not envision players buying singles. That's why there wasn't a 4-of rule, because he envisioned artificial scarcity, preventing people from amassing lots of copies of individually powerful cards, which obviously was not the case. I am skeptical that the party mechanic will be anything other than a limited mechanic. By and large, for the most part, heavily synergy-driven mechanics like that tend to not be constructed playable in Magic. They tend to be a very tough sell. The cards need to be, like, pretty individually powerful. Like, unless you are incidentally achieving party with cards that are individually powerful, the party mechanic likely won't be constructed playable, is the reality of it. So whether or not it's playable and constructed will be solely determined by the individual power level of things that happen to be those creature types. The actual gameplay of Keyforge I think is quite good, Jin. The distribution model of Keyforge leaves a lot to be desired, in my opinion, though. And we're just super dead here, right? They get to flash this in. We can attack. The attack's not lethal. We're dead in the air. All right, to wrap on this, I wish I could say this deck Didn't go as my expectations were expecting it to go, but it basically performed exactly at expectations. Talking about synergy cards and cards that are individually powerful, a big part of the reason why this deck struggled was because we were playing these cards that are individually weak because they kind of have synergy together. And that's just like asking to get yourself picked apart, especially in a higher powered format like Historic is. Our deck did not feel like it was competitive unless Sweltering Suns had text. And even then, in some of the creature matchups like Mono Blue, that last one we played, or Bant Spirits that we played against earlier, if our large creatures weren't able to be blocking, we didn't have enough interaction to be able to not just get run over in the air. So, felt like we were weak against flyers, felt like we were weak against creature decks that weren't on the ground, felt like we really struggled against control. I don't think you can really change this core Plum to really make it anything that I would expect to be competitive. I think your Goblins matchup is probably genuinely good. The Sarkhan's Unsealing and Sweltering Suns are great there. You have a bunch of creatures that are meaningful blockers, but against control decks or creature decks with flyers, I don't think there's really much you can do here while trying to keep this theme of individually weak cards. I think if you wanted to play a competitive red-black deck, do I have it here? Yeah, red-black aggro. This is one of the decks that's up on my website. It's doing some similar things, only the big difference here is this is an Embercleave deck, and the big thing about Embercleave is you can play Embercleave after your finisher. The really awkward thing about Unsealing is you don't want to play your Regisaur on 3, right? You don't want to play your Nyxathid on 3 because you want to play Unsealing and then play them afterwards to get a trigger. So, like, not only are your cards a little bit weak, but it also encourages you, the way Unsealing is designed, to sequence your cards in an inoptimal manner a lot of the time. All right, we are going to, so today's just going to be a shorter stream. I need to play some catch up on some things around the house. Christy and I have been putting off cleaning out our garage for since we moved into the house a year and a half ago. So we're going to try and hammer that out this afternoon. We are going to shift gears and play a little bit of Runeterra to wrap things up today. If you're just here for Magic stuff, I will be back with more Magic tomorrow morning. For now, let's make some cat subs, huh?